Hey folks, time for an update. I was hoping my mood was kind of improving, everything was improving, and looking forward to doing a video where I'm not depressed. Unfortunately, that changed. There's a couple things that changed that. I don't have anything to drive at the moment. I'll get to that. But I got my cell phone signal booster and spent 2 days setting it up. See the antenna up there, and the wire in over to the booster, and then the antenna inside. It's not that it takes that long. It took me that long because I did 1 day to put this up, and the second day trying to feed the wire downstairs. Got everything hooked up, turned it on, and it didn't work. So I'm looking through troubleshooting, and apparently the reason it doesn't work is because we're on a different band. I know now, but I had no idea how to check what band I'm on. It just said, the listing said all Canadian carriers. So I figured, we're good. Nope. We are band 12 apparently, and this booster covers band 2, 5, 6, 25, or 4, or something like that. Not 12. So all that work I did putting it up, I have to spend taking it down again. It's been a few days, I haven't bothered yet. So that was a bit of a disappointment. Oh my goodness. And then I have a Christmas app in my phone, and it's a countdown timer thing. And I got a notice a couple of days ago. It's less than 14 weeks until Christmas. We are having absolutely phenomenal weather out here right now. It's like 28 degrees today. And it's been like that for like weeks. I'm loving it. Awesome September weather. And I can't go out and enjoy it right now because I can't drive the Monster. Oh, I can, I'm just not taking a chance. So that just kind of kills my opportunity to go out. I can't drive the other. I'll get to that. So we have a store here, and it's about the size of my bedroom in Wingham. It's very small. They don't have a whole lot. So I think the first week we were here, I mentioned that Food Basics in Listowel delivers to Gorey. I got a delivery, everything was fine. Well, I did another one yesterday, and I ordered, among other things, I ordered chocolate milk and coffee cream. Well, I get a text from him. Let's see if I can find it here. I had this ready, for whatever reason I closed it. Okay, the guy who's doing the shopping for me, he says, not available, want replacement, and he shows milk. I never ordered milk. I ordered chocolate milk, I ordered coffee cream. So my response was, what is not available, chocolate or cream? And he said, I don't want, it's like 5 minutes went by, I never got a reply. So I said, don't want bag milk, just skip. Then he comes back with milk not available. Again, I didn't order just milk. So I said, just skip then. So, now here's the thing. When you make an order, you can choose the delivery time. I chose between 1 and 3 because there's no guarantee I'm going to be awake before that. So, it's just before 3. Okay, so it's already late, and it said, you can watch everything on the website. That's the other thing too. It updates in real time. It tells you what items have been picked. Chocolate milk had already been picked, and the coffee cream had already been picked. This is before he's asking for the milk replacement. I said, well, apparently you've already picked it. Why am I getting this, right? So I'm watching it, and it says on the corner that he's working on multiple orders. So again, this was just before 3, so I'm thinking maybe somebody else's order, the milk they wanted wasn't available, so he was asking for that replacement. That's the only thing I can think of. So, what was it? Hour later, 4:08, I get the notice, your food basics order is on the way. Delivery estimate is 4:35 p.m. That's an hour and a half late to begin with. But I got, it was, I don't remember. But the cool thing is, once he's on the way, the website shows a map. It shows my location, and it shows the driver's location. So you can see, his position, where he is, and, when he's going to be there. So I got watching. Now the thing is, with next to no service out here, just this side of Fordwich, his icon stopped moving. So I'm thinking, okay, 2 possibilities. Either the signal's gone, or he crashed. About a minute later he showed up. So that was, oh, that's good. Now, I got my order about probably 4:45. So my milk products have been out of the cooler for 2 hours. That really bothered me. Now, it said not to worry, your, what was it, cooler items, I think they called it, will be transported in a temperature-controlled environment. Yeah, they're in shopping bags in a box in the back of his car. How is that temperature-controlled? But, I grabbed the milk, the chocolate milk, and it was actually still cold, so not a problem that way. Problem is, I need cheese slices, and they were not there. I paid for them, they weren't there. And so, I'm not sure how that works with items missing, but ordered or clicked on problem with order, and I said items missing. Choose the item that's missing, and I got reimbursed like immediately. So didn't have to be confirmed or anything, so that was cool. Problem is, I still need cheese slices. So this whole situation just sucks. Okay, there's not a lot of leaves that have fallen so far, but I smell burning leaves. I actually kind of like that smell. So we had a couple of rounds of rain that went through last night, and having a steel roof outside my bedroom window, it's obvious when it's raining. I actually like that sound, but it was pretty loud. So I guess the rest, I'll go down into the shed, and I will explain why I can't drive anything right now. Okay, I'm out in the shed now, and continue my conversation. One thing I noticed is different about this place is when you turn the water on, the lights dim. The reason for that is because we're on a well, and apparently we have a pretty powerful pump. So I thought that was kind of funny. So I finally did a tour, a small tour. I looked on the map and just kind of picked where I'm going to go. And I discovered Nagori is actually smaller than it appears on the map. The route wasn't nearly as long. So I don't remember exactly where I went. I know I did the 1.5 kilometer trail, sat down at the end there, took a break. I'm not sure if I went to Home Hardware that day or not. But when I come back, I kind of turned onto a side street and went out down to the baseball diamond. Looked over the field, which was pretty cool. And then kind of took a long way home. And it didn't take nearly as long as I thought it was going to. So I don't really have a whole lot of options for tours here right now. I get So there's a lot of dead-end streets. I can't go this way because there's nowhere to come out. I can't go that way. It's just, this is nuts. So I'll get the monster fixed up for next summer and hopefully do a little further. I want to go over to Roxeter and tour there a little bit, but I'm not trusting the monster. Even before this latest issue, I haven't been trusting it. So I talked before about the birdhouses in the trail, and there's one, like every stop there's a bench, there's a garbage can, and there's a birdhouse. Well, there's a birdhouse there right in the park area itself before I get to the berm where the dam used to be. And there's something really cool about it. It looks exactly like our fire hall. I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm guessing there's little plaques on the birdhouses that state who they're built by. I have a feeling they're kind of related to the fire department in some way. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I don't know if I talked about this already or not. I went down there one day, and on the way back I got to that berm. They're pretty steep, and I come up and just about at the top, and all of a sudden the monster just stopped. Expecting it to go into error mode, so I go, oh no, and then all of a sudden it took off again, splashed my coffee, and that wasn't nice. Something's happening. Well, the last trip I made down there, I got down at the end and I stopped, took my break, and turned the monster on, and it was in error mode. So I waited to see what come up, error code 2. Well, I get that with the bad brake wire. So, and according to that, it's supposed to be a motor issue, according to the manual, but experience, it's a problem with the brake. So I reached back and I'm playing with the brake wire, tried it, and it worked. So I go in reverse, backup beeper's going, things flashing, it's not moving. So I was thinking, so I go forward a bit and then back, and it worked. Probably kind of jerked a little bit, and it worked. Does that sound familiar? The last time that happened, where I had to give the monster a push to get it going, that was when I had a problem with the motor, and when I took it apart, it was full of oil, and the brushes were pretty much done. I had one that was no brush whatsoever, so I was down to 3 brushes, and the other 3 were just almost like gone. So I'm thinking, I suspected before I might be having a brush problem. Now with this, I don't get about this, is when I had the ES950, I drove that thing for 10 years. I never changed the brushes in that once. Never. It did not wear the brushes down that fast. And a monster goes through them in like 2 years. Well, I guess in this case 3, but I got lucky this time. So I'm hoping that's all the issue is, just the brushes. Unfortunately, I don't know where they are at the moment. I did pack them. I remember seeing them, because I didn't know where they were when I was in Wingham. I put them somewhere. I had no clue where. But I did find them. I did pack them. I remember packing them. They are here somewhere. Somewhere. So I'm not driving a monster until I at least check the brushes to see if that's the issue. If not, then it's time for a new motor again. And unfortunately, I can't drive the Celebrity because it's got a flat tire, if you remember. And of course, my spare tube is also here somewhere, as well as my crazy glue. And it's not like I can go to the dollar store and grab another package of crazy glue because we don't have one here. And at the moment I have no way to get to Wingham to get it. So I have nothing to drive until, but the priority right now is taking down that cell phone booster. But I was actually surprised somebody in the comments mentioned it. I did find a piece for my bumper that I was missing. The way I had my desk set up in the back of the garage, I had that lower part where I sat and did things. And underneath it, I had a little garbage can. That's where it was. It was in that. So I did technically throw it out. I'm not even sure if that garbage can made it way. I don't even know if it made it here. I don't see it. Oh well, not a big deal. It might even be inside. There's still a lot of garage stuff that got put inside. In earlier trips, everything just kind of got put in the front room there, right inside the door, just to unpack the car quickly. So I try to make myself a little brighter here. Still got to work on. These are the only two lights. Just two lights here. There's one here, but it's not working, and I can't determine where the wire goes, so I don't know if it's just burned out or what's going on with it. I don't know. So last weekend, this was actually kind of cool. Zach came by to do laundry, and he was gonna go for a drive. He can't wait for anything, so he just wanted to go for a drive. And he asked me if there's anywhere I wanted to go. And I says, well, you can take me to take me to Wingham to Timmy's to grab coffee, right? So we went for a tour. We went to Listowel instead. Got my coffee, and then he asked Ken, when the wash is done, can you switch it over to the dryer? So that'll give us more time, because he wanted to go to Wingham too. Because he wanted to get gas, and gas is cheaper in Wingham than it is in Listowel. So we went to Wingham. And after he got gas, I said, can we drive by the dam? I want to see what, the progress. At this point, it's September 16th. I did look. Officially, it is June 15th to September 15th that they're allowed in the river. Outside that, they're not. And I'm not sure if they can be charged for environmental damage or whatever. If they're outside that time, I'm not sure, but that's the regulation. In Ontario, anyways, that's the regulation. June 15th to September 15th. Well, that day was September 16th, and the dam looked exactly like it was 2 weeks before when I moved here. So, what are they going to do? The part of the dam that's still there isn't going to be an issue, but their access road in the springtime will get washed out with the floods that come through and all their sandbags and everything. It's going to be a problem. It's going to cost them a lot more to do now. But I did notice along the bank in the park where there used to be that railroad tie wall. I mentioned, at some point in time the water was actually up to that when they were using the dam. It looks like they've taken that out. So I don't know. They're not actually in the river there. So maybe they're allowed to do work there. I don't know. But if they leave it the way it is, there's going to be some major erosion when the floods come through. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But it surprised me. It hasn't changed a bit. So that 10 feet of steel that they took out with a underwater torch, that's all that's gone. Nothing has happened since. So I don't know what's going on with that. But sitting in my room, and I heard this noise one night, and my curtain moved. So it sounded like if it's really windy and you get the wind blowing against your window, you get that whooshing sound. I heard that, but just for a second, just to move the curtain, and then it stopped. Well, after a while I got to realize that's vehicles driving by. My window was the only window open. I'm at the back of the building. So the transport truck goes by, you get quite an air wave that comes off of it, and it'll, if you got a hole in your house, it'll blow through. And okay, but it does it with cars as well. So I'm thinking, okay, we got like a laneway beside us and then a building. On the other side it's a little bit wider, but we're surrounded by buildings, and we got a building out back here. So I'm thinking that air wave is coming down the laneways and coming around the house. Either that or we got like a major air leaks in this place. Which I'm suspecting because we've been mourning about the cold in the wintertime. And we don't have heaters in every room. I got a heater in my room, Ken's got a heater in his room, and the spare room. But there's no heat in the kitchen, there's no heat in the hallway. That's going to be interesting. So I won't be walking around in bare feet in the wintertime. So I thought that was kind of interesting that even a car going by will move my curtain. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. And I think back when we were in Wingham, I was watching there was like chance of rain. I don't remember the situation, it was a while ago now. And I was watching the radar, and there's this, if you watch down in Lake Erie, Long Point, that little part that sticks way out, there's what looks like a radar explosion. It just starts and it just spreads out like an explosion. It was really strange. I don't know what was going on with that. I was going to share that before, but with everything else going on, I never got a chance to. So, we got that. So, I got two more things to talk about. That last hard drive failure, where I lost about 60,000 files. It seems I'm getting a lot of them back, most of them actually. It's kind of disappointing, the ones I'm not getting back, but I'm getting most of them. But most of them seem to be from 2023, 2024. So that's not too bad. Problem is, there's a couple channels that I had downloaded that don't exist on YouTube anymore. And I had their entire channel, so I don't get those back anymore. And a lot of videos are now private. I don't know why people do that. I'll just leave it at that. It drives me nuts when people do that. And I found a couple videos that I had downloaded at one point in time are now member only, so you have to give people money to see their videos, which, you know my opinion on that. But I'm getting most of them back. It's very time consuming, and I have to spend money on a VPN now because Google limits your searches. I don't know if you've ever come across that before. I think I've talked about that in the past. You make too many requests and Google, you'll get a message saying, sign in to prove you're not a bot. Well, I am a bot in this case because I have a downloader that's searching for these. So once I get that, okay, I reached my limit, and get the turn the VPN on, find a different spot. So my IP address is different, and continue on. And it's just, I hate doing that, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? It's just for a limited time, just till I get the files back in there. The only reason I know, I still don't know everything I've lost, but the way I did it was, I mentioned, I gotta sit down here. I mentioned that, find a way where I'm not super dark. Sorry, I'm just trying not to, I got the charger sitting on the monster seat here. I try not to get in the way. I mentioned like every month or so I would do a directory list, so I know everything that's on each and every hard drive. And I hadn't updated at the point where I had lost my files. So I grabbed the one before that, before I updated again, and I created a list, combined them all together, and I made a section in my website where I can search for actual YouTube videos, because the format that I have them, I've got the 8-digit date, the uploader, the title of the video, and then the video ID. So it goes through and it looks for that format and creates a YouTube link for that. And earlier videos, I didn't use the IDs until I started realizing there's a lot of YouTube videos that are the same title from the same uploader. So that causes a clash. So that's why I started using the actual video ID, plus I won't have to search for that video anymore. I just got the ID, I can create a link directly from that. So anything, all the older videos that have YouTube on the end of it instead of the link, then those ones get separated and into their own list, and those I have to search for manually. So now I got the links, and I created another part where I search through. I just get the video ID, and if it's already in my database, it gets skipped. So I have a list of videos that are unique, that are not already in my computer, and that's what I'm working on right now. But that's just based on the last update that I did, directory list. So anything that was added after that, I don't have links for. So once everything else is finished, then the ones that I have to search for manually, I'm going to create another page that will actually look for that specific title to see if I have that in my database, instead of, the link, the ID, which is obvious because they're unique to each individual video. I'm going to search for that specific title, and that will narrow my list of videos I have to look for manually. So once that's done, then I gotta go through the list of 15,000 uploaders I have videos from or had at one point in time, pick the important ones, and get a list of videos on their channel, and then go through that process again to see what I have, and if I don't have them, then download those. But that's a ways away. I still got a long way to go. And that's just there. I got so much to do out here. I still got to finish putting setting my bedroom up. My hard drives are all still just kind of packed together on the desk, which is not good because there's no ventilation. But the temperature inside seems to be very, very regulated. It doesn't get super cool at night. It doesn't get super hot in the daytime. It's anywhere from 26 to 28 degrees constant at the moment. So that's kind of nice. It's not getting super hot, and I don't have to worry about my hard drives overheating, which is good. But there's another thing. I did want to buy a desk scanner instead of using my handheld. I couldn't justify the cost of it. I can still hear Wingham Fire Department from here, but I have to take the scanner off the base, otherwise it's full of static and it's completely unusable. And I'm kind of disappointed. It was quiet for a long time, and then as soon as I moved here, it was a whole bunch of calls. I think they had 4 calls in one day. I still had it on, I was listening. But I wasn't set up to record yet because I couldn't find my transmitter and receiver, and so there was a house fire in Lonsborough that I missed, and the first call I've heard involving an electric vehicle. That was actually kind of interesting. I'd like to have recorded that one. So it's a single vehicle. It took out a hydro pole, and the hydro lines were down across the highway. It was actually quite a lengthy call, and I missed it. I was really disappointed in that. But the interesting thing is, electric vehicles have a completely different protocol. When they're taken to a wrecking yard, they have to be set aside from all other vehicles, because I think it's up to 14 days they can still catch fire, which is kind of scary. So I didn't hear anything about that. The only thing I heard different was the fire truck followed the wrecker to the wrecking yard in case it caught fire on the truck, right? So that's the only thing I heard different. But I know the wrecking yards, they have a completely different process for storing electric cars, which is really scary. But I missed it. I'm set up now. I actually got a pretty good call the other day. I don't remember what it was. I kind of think it was yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday. I don't know the details of it because I wasn't listening the whole time. It was a combine fire, and I think one of the fire trucks got stuck or something. Stuck in the field, if I remember correctly. But I didn't. I'll listen to it later, but I wasn't listening the whole time. I just kind of heard that, but I didn't. As soon as I heard him say like the return would be delayed and then I was listening to something else. I think at that time I was watching a video, and it was just kind of in the background going. I heard that, and I stopped the video, but I never actually found out what it was. I think that's what it was, anyways. That was kind of interesting. But I'm thinking of getting a desk scanner, the whole point of what I'm talking about here. So I can put an outdoor antenna out and get better, and I won't have to worry about, it's like the call starts and I gotta take everything off me and get out of bed and go over and take it off the base. Because it only lasts like 8 hours on a charge, so it's not like I can leave it off the base all the time. So I always miss the first page out because it's all static. So I think I'll get a desk scanner, then I can put an antenna outside and everything's good. And we'll see from there. It's got battery backup, so if the power goes off, it won't actually matter because it's recorded with my computer. So okay, scratch that. That part doesn't matter. Because before I just used my handheld and I'd record it with my voice recorder, right? So, but anyways, that'll solve that problem, I think. Pulling the signal a little bit better. And I got a second channel to add. I'm gonna add Gory, Howick Township. I actually met the chief in Home Hardware the other day, and I asked him what the frequency was. He didn't refuse to give it to me. He just said he doesn't know it offhand. Kind of like, my cell phone. I want to call Michelle. I don't know what her number is. I just tap on her name. It's kind of the same thing, right? They don't actually know they're not typing in the frequency. They're just, clicking a button, basically. But he did tell me it was the countywide channel. So countywide channel I have seen in the listings. I think it's 156 or 154 or something, point whatever. So, but I just haven't got, I don't know. The program is not in my computer. The programming disk and the cable that goes to the scanner, programming cable, much like this, are somewhere in my bedroom, so I haven't been able to do that yet. So, everything's just kind of moving a lot slower than I'm comfortable with. And I can't even go out and enjoy the day right now, this beautiful weather that we got, because I got nothing I can drive. So I might just look through, because I showed you guys how I fixed the tubes with the crazy glue. So that tube is good if I can find that. I know it's in a box. I remember I had a little bit of space at the top, and I was just kind of looking for things to stick in, and I found that tube, and I said, well, that'll work. I'll put it in. So it'll be on the top of a box. So all I have to do is just kind of open every box and look on the top. But it might take a bit. I don't know. Tools are no problem. They're right there. they're accessible. So I guess that's all I got for now. I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna pull a brush out of the motor and take a look at it and see what it looks like. So it won't be in this video. I will show it in the next, maybe not the next one. I think I'm gonna show my tour. Yeah, my very short, gory tour. I haven't done a tour video for a while. I do have one from Wingham that I've been saving for a while that I will do eventually. I'll do it as a flashback or something. Eventually, I've got it set aside. It's just a matter of when, right? So, anyways, I guess that's all I got. Yeah, oh yeah, I've still got all my damn videos that I'm working on too before I can put that video out. It's taken a while. So, I guess that's all I got for this one.